Yo, Jess, can you hear me? Jess, what's up, Jess? Can you hear me? Yo, yo, what's up? Boom. Let's try it like that. What's up, Jess? Fucking hell, eh? Cheers, everybody. Cheers, everybody. Y'all fools. What's up, Jess? Can you get through? Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of stories to be sold and told over here. Please click like. Why don't you click like as you cycle through? That would be nice. You was so cold, but you could be nice. Shit. What's up, Jess? How you doing? What's up, kids? How you doing, all you fools? Please click like. Why don't you do it? Hmm. Some people have concerns, and they're totally welcome too. That's why I will drop in this join in link right here, right now. Used to be a StreamYard right here. Okay, come on in. Come on in. Make sure you don't yell, man. I checked my volume before I came in. I made sure I peeked out, beyond a yell, under a yell. Eh? Mm-hmm. Cheers to you. Cheers to Dan. Cheers to all the real ones, all the people studying, book four. Good for you. Outer court, inner court. There's a place for us all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a place for us all. You're all leading to the grand next day. And the next day is gonna be okay, right, Jess? Jessica, you can join in anytime you want. What's up, darling? Come on up. Roof, roof, roof. I might have to be a little bit more quiet, but it's okay. You don't have clothes. Yeah, I don't have clothes either. Not for you. Shit. Walk around here naked now. Shit. Be careful, Jess. Be careful, Jess. Don't do that. Can you blanket yourself up? Just blanket it up. Do something like that. Here, I'm gonna share that link again, just to reiterate and put it out there. Yeah, it's cool. So Jess, you don't have to come up. I mean, you don't have to come up like that, but you could just do that. You could just do that. Or what's up, Dougie Doug?
How we doing, Joe?
Very wonderful, sir. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Hello,
Man, it's
Jessica.
kind of late, huh?
Well, I gotta
Yeah,
set up
Jessica,
my porch
she has
stream.
no clothes. She can't come up.
Okay, I'm gonna set up my porch stream after this cigarette. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, you can't be in that long?
I can't be up. I don't. I got things I still got to do. I put my camera on the porch every night at around midnight.
Yeah, yeah. But if you leave this one open, you can hang here, right? I mean, that's okay with us, right? But whatever you want to do.
Cool. I could come
How have
back
you been,
maybe.
Doug?
I've been pretty good. I got that seed you
Yeah.
sent me in the mail.
It should be a second one, right? I don't know what, I think I
It's
sent
a
you one
second
before,
one. There
right?
was one. There was one before, and there's a second one now. Yes.
Yeah. Well, the first one, it was from a really like, oh, that's a really pungent thing. I can't believe I found a seed because we haven't seen seeds in like 3 years, Doug. Like my wife and I, what we get, there's no seeds in it. It's Sensimilla. There's no seeds in it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay. I'll do
we've
my best
grown a
with it.
couple of them. We've grown a
Okay.
couple of them, and they're really nice when we do actually find them. So, you know, I just would rather not it go to waste. And I'm a brown thumb, and maybe you'll have a
I'm
good
gonna do
time
my
with it.
best with it. Like I said, I'm gonna do what I know to do.
Yeah, yeah. You
Plant
might
them
have
in
a
the
good time,
soil,
man.
give them some food and water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Worm
You have
tea,
any
man. Worm
questions? You
tea.
look it up online. What you got to do? That's what I do.
There you go. There you go. And like you said, even stuff that you already know, you have to look it back up and refresh, right?
Absolutely.
So that's cool. Yeah.
I don't know nothing. Yeah, I got to relearn. I'm like a chicken. I got to learn everything new every day. I mean, when it comes to
3-day
things like that,
memory.
when it comes to things
Right.
like that, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pointing
That's
that way because
awesome.
that's where the grow tent is over there.
Yeah. Okay, so you do normally do it. I didn't even know. I took kind of a stretch. I was like, yeah, you probably do it every once in a
Hello,
while,
Sean.
you know.
I've been trying to grow my own weed for a few years now. I'm getting better at it every year.
Cool.
I'm not going to do the hydroponics again. I'm going to just do soil.
Right.
I'm trying to get something going here shortly, so it's ready in the spring. Then I'll put some plants outside again, like I did last year. 2 years now, I've had outside plants.
That's cool. Hey,
And
Sean,
now
I'm sorry we missed 11:20, but here we are, Sean.
I have yet to grow any weed that I think is like excellent, right? But I grow weed that's good. It's good enough, right? That's what I've
Right.
discovered.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, look, there's one thing, Doug, I have to explain this, and I'm sure you understand. So, the fact that our farmer is also a commercial farmer of other fruits and vegetables, right? They have to stay legal in the marijuana industry, right? Even though it's Virginia and it's free and legal, and they can give it to us, right? So we have to put our foot in the door at the beginning because they would run out of, the 5 plants that they're allowed to grow or whatever it is. I'm just using a number. So they would run out. So we have to be like ahead of time and be like, when it's harvest time, we want quarter pound, we want half a pound, whatever. We have to put that in.
New York State law allows every adult in a household to have 3 mature plants.
Okay.
So we can go 6 here, and I'm not violating anybody's law. Let me say this though: I think I could go as many as I want up here, and the law won't have nothing to say about it.
I'm for sure about that. Yeah.
Now you
For sure, for sure.
schedule with your grower. You're saying how much you want in the harvest season, right?
Well, because they'll run out and they want to stay legal. They're not even going to F around
Now
because they want to
they're
sell their
growing
real
red peppers
blueberries.
and tomatoes and
They
cucumbers
want
and
to
shit
sell
also,
blueberries.
right?
They have blueberry contracts.
Blueberry. Okay, so they're
Yeah.
blueberry
So
farmers
why would they
for
mess up
weed.
blueberry contracts by growing 10 fucking weed plants instead of 7? They're not going to do it. They're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Because that's real money, you know?
Well, blueberries is consistent money. Weed is consistent money too if you do it that way, right?
Yeah, but they have legal
I
contracts that they don't want to jeopardize.
I would say this: the prices have come down dramatically since legalization,
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
right? So pretty soon, growing weed is going to be just like growing any other commodity. The profit
Well,
margin used to
hello. Good
be
morning. Good
the
morning,
profit
Nabi.
margin used to be
Hello,
huge.
Sean.
Huh?
Oh, I
What?
was saying good morning, Nabi. Hello, Sean. Hello,
Yeah, I
Smooth
see
Keys back
Nabi and Sean
again.
in the chat.
And Sean, too. No, you're right. You're right, Doug. Absolutely. It's like easier to grow. So, whatever. But at the same time, like it really happens like this. Like, April 20th, everybody has like a last ditch discount. But after April, nobody has any more weed. You know what I mean? Like the harvest is done twice. And so that's a hard time. And it's coming. It's coming right on time. So
Hello,
you should
Angel.
grow a little bit for yourself. You should grow a little bit.
Well, I do. I try and smoke mostly weed. I grow. I do sometimes supplement that.
Yeah. Yeah. You should, because people like once they run out, they're not as nice as they used to be. Oh, Pro Art Angel is 100 Angel, right? How you doing,
Yes,
Pro Art Angel?
that's 100 Angel.
Right. I've been buying a lot of YouTube art, Pro Art Angel. I would not be, I'd be very happy to buy something that you brought up. Oh, Sean has the shop. You have the shop. We have a lot of shops. We have different kind of shops. But any shop that wants my name, I walk right back out of. I'm not
I
putting my
have a
name on the
couple of weed
shop.
stores now that have opened up within walking distance of my house.
For
I have
sure,
yet
for
to
sure.
visit either of them. There's two, and there's the third
Right.
one going to open. I have yet to visit any of them. However, I've been told that they sell good weed and it's pretty cheap.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, you don't want to spend $75 a quarter. That's crazy, Remember, good weed for 120 an ounce is fine. That's fine. 140 an ounce, even. That's fine. But there's nothing above that. When people try to
I'm
charge
thinking in,
you
I'm thinking
above
in
that,
10 years' time, you'll be buying it like you buy vegetables in the supermarket.
yeah, yeah,
That's what I'm thinking. There's
for
so
sure, for
many
sure.
growers now, too. My wife has cousins who grow.
Yeah.
Not far from you.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, in Maryland.
yeah. Right on. Well, I used to in when I was in Greenbelt, we lived near the government farms. So they were doing the what is it? The Department of Agriculture. They were doing those hemp farms back there. They had the medical weed.
Hmm.
Good stuff. It was right over a fence. We could have hopped the fence, but you knew better than to hop the fence if you want to keep your hands, you know what I mean? But you could just hop the fence and get the
Hmm.
medical weed.
In about 1987, maybe it was. It might have been 86, but I think it was 87. My cousin
Yeah.
from England and he was over visiting. We got in the car and decided we'll drive to California from New York. So we
Right.
did. I was about 22
Like
years
4 or
old,
5
maybe.
days.
We were gone for like a month. But while we were camping along Highway 1 in California down by Sand Dollar Beach somewhere,
Right
and
on.
we didn't, we just drive in the car. It was like more or less car camping everywhere we go. We're not renting rooms and
Like
shit.
tailgating, basically, yeah. Just
So
sleeping in a fucking
we got off the road. We drove up and
Yo
drove up
Thomas.
and went and parked. Right now we get out of the car and we get set up and we're gonna sleep there. And these guys come riding down the mountain on a motorcycle and talk to us. What are you doing here? Oh, my accent. I'm from New York. My cousin, English accent, right? They're like, what are you doing here? We're like, well, we were just hanging out on the beach and we're just gonna come up here and we had some hot dogs or something. We're gonna make a little fire and we're gonna camp right there for the night, probably sleeping in the car, right?
Right,
Because
right,
that's
right.
what we've been doing. We had a tent, but it's a bitch. When you're
You're
car camping, it's
tailgating.
a bitch. You take your tent out, set it up, and unset.
Yeah, you're tailgating, man. You're
We
tailgating.
just
If
take
you
the
can
seat
get
back
like
and
the
just sleep in the
windies
car.
down and
Yeah.
yeah.
And the guy had a big satchel over his shoulder, like he was up there. He had a bag like a newspaper kid would carry, and he gave us some bud. He had the bud, right? And he said, "You guys got to guard this fucking up there." He said, "If anybody comes up here, we're gonna come and look for you, right?
Okay.
Because it's to warn us or whatever, right? Because
Right.
they were up in the and it was illegal. It was 1987,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So early the next morning, I went very early, and I just walked up the hill, and I was hoping to find the fucking plants. I never did though. They gotta have them. You know how they did it in California, right? We weren't. We were like half a mile off the road. My cousin and I. These guys were up the hill on motorcycles. It's a mountain up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I figured, well, I'll walk up this trail. I should see something. I don't know. I walked about a mile, turned around and walked back. I didn't think I was going to take any weed. I know if you just pick it out of the ground, it's no good. You got to wait, right? It takes 2 weeks at least, and it takes the right climate.
Right.
I just thought it was, it's like the way they used to grow weed, right? Guerrilla.
1750 for an eighth. Let me think about it. Okay. No, we used to spend 15 for an eighth, Sean. And then stink bug. Wow, stink bug, man.
Okay.
Before you got banned from streaming, and I was like, hey, bug, there's a creature in the house. I was talking
Hello,
about
stink
me.
bug.
But
So I'm gonna
but I
go
was
because I'm
talking
gonna
about
go do
me.
this. I'm gonna go do this other stuff for a while.
You're gonna okay. Right on,
Maybe I'll
Doug.
come
Thanks
back.
for
I'm not
coming up,
sure.
Doug.
Yeah, sure
Thanks for
thing,
coming up,
Joe.
Doug.
Been a
Man, it
while.
was awesome.
Okay.
I know. I'll be around on yours, man. I'll be around on yours. So, heck yeah. So, hey, thank you, Bug. But I was saying, like, I was not trying to make anything uncomfortable. Yeah, 15. Yeah, 15 and 8. That makes sense, right? Yeah, that makes sense, bro. I used to have a funny friend who was like, I'll clean your 8th. And he did, but he would give you he would take an ounce and cut it in and, get rid of all the stems and seeds and don't weigh it. But yeah, he cleaned it already. You vaguely remember that. Yo, I just want you to know that nothing was wrong. I'm going to put a join in link right now back in the comments right here. Please, anybody, man, especially like people like Stinkbug, if you are restricted from live streaming yourself, why don't you go ahead and click that link and come on up and talk with us? Everything is good here. Everything is good. There we go. YouTube apologize. Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah. But you still don't have your stuff back, right? That's not cool, right? I was gonna clean my room, but then I got high. I was gonna get up and find the broom, but I got high. My room is still messed up, and I know why, Sean. I know why, 'cause I got high. Because I got high. But anyway, yeah, you guys can just join in right here. Here we go. Sean, hopefully, man, you find the box and so we can work on the next box and do all that shit when you get home, bruh. I bet you they talk shit, bro. They talk shit about you. That's nothing compared. Yeah, yeah. Death threats and leaked info, etc. Yeah, yeah. I believe you, bro. I believe you. Yeah, yeah. Well, fuck, man. We got to fix that, right? We got to make people not do that shit anymore. Even if we can't go live. Well, you can go. Why don't you just join in this link? That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Here we go. Look, hit this one. Jessica, hit this one. What's up with this? What's up with that? Yeah, I'm glad you can still use YouTube and stuff like that. They're not going to say shit to your face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course not. Go live. Go live. Oh, you want me to go dead? I'll go dead, Sean. I guess you got to have six skin. Yeah, yeah, for sure, But that's a minimum, right? You got to have thick skin. Come on up, Jess. Come on up, Jess. Also, we've had Thomas in Tarot your way so many times. Should I send Thomas the join in link? I could do that. Let me see about that. Damn, I don't remember his. Oh, you want me to go on your live? Yeah, I'll go on your live, Stinkbug. Yeah, for sure. I'll go on your live. Why not? Go look at the wolf moon. Yeah, the wolf moon. Is that what's out there right now? Oh shit. Let me see what happens if I go there. Yeah, I saw whatever it was yesterday, man. I'm not all hung up on it. The moon is still a clock to me. It's not a big deal. That's just me, man. I might be wrong. I'll be right back. Nah, I can't, man. Thomas, I don't remember what your email is. I would have sent it to you, Thomas. Yeah. Thomas, though, tarot your way. I was trying to send it to you. I couldn't remember what your email is, man. I'm so sorry about that. So I'll just put it here again live. Fuck. Maybe I'm not going to be here that long. I don't know. But here, it's that live. And then let me go look in the background real quick. Am I still here? Am I still here? Yeah.
I hear you.
Am I still here?
Yep, you're
That
still
is
there.
awesome. Yeah, I just went to send you. I just went to send you the join in link, and that's so awesome.
I'm
Because I
already
thought I
in
got
bed,
kicked out, but I'm
so
glad I'm still here.
I'm already in bed, so that's why no camera.
That's okay. No problem. No need. We're just trying to talk to your mind.
I enjoyed Zane's reading earlier tonight.
Yeah, have you been dealing with Zane recently in the past couple of weeks, or?
I have not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to start something new, like totally un-tarot related, and I am not getting any traction. And
Was
it's
it
a lot of
non-tarot
work.
related? Zane says,
It's,
"Why? Thank you." Zane is in the house.
yeah.
What do you want to do that's non-tarot related?
Roulette strategies.
Just the red and the black, the spin.
Yeah, red and black in dozens.
Wow. How do you? Where did you learn roulette strategies?
Oh well, there's a million channels on YouTube. CEG Dealer School is probably the biggest one.
Okay. Okay, cool. So you've launched that a little bit, or you're trying it out, but it's not hitting the
Yeah,
numbers.
like no views yet, and so I'm trying to see what keywords or whatever will bring people in.
Right. Cool. That sounds very interesting. Is that something you do? Do you gamble a lot?
Uh, I only gamble when I'm on cruises, so that restricts me to once every year and a half or so.
when you do it, do you give yourself a budget to lose, or are you looking to win? Like, do you stop at a certain level? You know, that's kind of my dad's way. He's like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
lose
well,
30 bucks and then I'm gonna cut. You know.
yeah, well, you have a budget for each session, and then if you lose so much, you set a stop loss, and bail if you're hemorrhaging.
Okay. All right. Have you ever made money? Because obviously, like, statistically it goes to the house, right? But have you ever
Yeah,
made money?
on this past cruise with Hershey and myself, um,
Yeah.
I would, I had my debit card up for the room and all the incidentals, and we were drinking and stuff like that. But
Right.
like, like whenever I'd make an extra 200, 300, I would, you know, cash the chips out and have my original stake there. But the 200, 300 was in excess, and I'd just put it towards the room so we could go um, shop for cigarettes at the duty free or whatever.
Right. Right. Oh, awesome. Okay. Cool. So you did make a little bit. You did like make a little bit while you're in.
Yeah, I made about 900 on this last cruise.
That's very significant. Yeah. 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 One
So
of
that
those times. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
so that had we purchased alcohol packages, that $900 would have been the totality of the two alcohol packages.
Right.
But
Right. I
but we were
understand
just
that.
buying by
Okay.
drink.
So if you don't get alcohol packages, like obviously you can't just order any mixed drink you want. But don't they have like sort of a mid level where you could get wines and beers or whatever, you know?
Oh, no, if you don't order a drinks package, you just pay the $13 to $18 a drink, and then they charge you 18% gratuity on it.
That's quite a bit. Wow.
It
Okay,
is
okay.
it is quite a bit, but 4 drinks a day for me is a lot. So it wouldn't have
Right.
paid to get an alcohol package.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
But
yeah. I mean it's easy math for me. I spend $12 a day or something. You could easily say
mhm,
that on alcohol, you know.
yeah.
So
And
it's
then
an easy thing.
with Carnival, it's like 15 drinks maximum per day. And some of the people that we were hanging around the ship with, thought it was their duty to get their 15 drinks a day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. They couldn't go to sleep before they finished the bill, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I got a little bit of that in my background.
I
You don't
didn't
want to
get my
waste a
money's
fucking
worth.
thing.
I didn't get my money's worth.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't miss the crumb, man.
So, but yeah, we bought things like Hershey bought a throw, and we both got Carnival robes.
Right?
So we got some souvenirs and stuff like that, and that's what that $900 went for.
Now, when you stopped in any ports and things like that, did you buy anything from locals or you just stayed with, the traditional, like not outside of that?
No, we went out and experienced the local shopping scene.
Okay.
Hershey got hair braids done in Freeport, and we went shopping, got a few T-shirts. She got a conch shell that
Right?
um, that you can blow. Uh, they cut a certain pattern into the top of it so you can blow into it and make it sound. I can only do
Right.
the one tone. but I can at least make it blow.
Yeah, that's scongili. Scongili. That's what they call it.
And
When they
then
make the pasta with the conch
yeah,
body.
and we went onshore in Key West, and we took a tram tour of the island. So it was about an hour and 15 minutes, and they took you to their souvenir shops along the way, to get out and stretch your legs and go to the bathroom and stuff. We went to a local dispensary when we got there. I got a couple edibles,
Cool.
and they have chickens running around the island, and
Okay.
so these chickens are like left from some kind of shipwreck long time ago,
Okay.
and they're protected. So if you accidentally run one over, you got to pay $1,000 fine or something like that.
Oh wow, you broke that chicken's neck, you know?
But they're
That's crazy.
quite colorful, and they're just wandering around in the open air taverns and stuff. They'll come in and peck at the ground and pick up French fries or whatever's somebody's spilled on the ground.
It's kind of like having pigeons that we have, but like much bigger, a little bit smarter.
And then they say that like the local cats um do not bother the chickens because I
Yeah.
guess chickens can be a little rude.
Chickens are a threat to cats, man. Chickens will take your eye out. They'll put a hole in your brain. Cats should be scared of chickens for sure. For sure.
So and along with the Hemingway house with all those six-toed cats there on the island that are just kind of running wild, they take care of them.
That's all.
And then when we went, I did not get off the ship at the private island just because it would be hard for me to get around,
Okay.
without somebody pushing me on a wheelchair with big tires. So I just
Yeah.
stayed on the ship that day, and since they were in the Bahamas, they opened up the casino that day. And
Okay.
then the next day in Nassau, we got off the ship, and um, it was a little difficult for me to get around in my scooter, my electric scooter, because there is some topography and very narrow streets.
Yeah.
And then, like most of the shops are like up a step or a threshold, so it was like I went with Hershey and her four ladies that she got to be palling with, and just wait outside, and then my handlebars were great for holding shopping bags.
Right. But you didn't get to really enjoy the experience. You're waiting for
Uh,
more
yeah,
shopping bags, maybe.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was only buying T-shirts, and there was a pattern, Bahamas pattern that if I would have found a shirt my size, I would have bought it in
Right.
like in a green color. They had green, blue, orange, yellow, but it was all the same tropical coconut tree or palm tree
Right.
type thing.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom would always get that for me because I had this like pineapple shirt that I really loved, you know what I mean? So she would always pick that stuff up when she was traveling, you know.
Mm. So were
So
you
where's Darcy at right now?
Hershey is with our friend Michelle in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
So she got on a train here in Houston and went to New Orleans, and then it's only 3 hours from Pensacola to New Orleans. So Michelle and a couple of her friends got in a SUV and went and picked Hershey up.
Yo, Vince Matthews, nice to see you. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, I caught her live. I think it was yesterday, and she was showing off some of the stones that she's got. You know, I have seen a black sapphire before. I think that's one of the ones that she brought up. That was really nice. But welcome in, Vince Matthews. How you doing?
So I get directions on what I need to take care of. So today's uh, directive was to water the plants and spritz them.
Okay, okay.
So so
And
I
how
went
are
on a.
the animals?
I'm doing okay. I just um, handle things 15 minutes at a time. That's about all I can do. Stand up and balance against the counters, and so I got the kitchen cleaned up and dishes done, and loads the laundry in and out and folded. So I'm trying to keep up with it. The biggest thing is
Right,
getting the
sounds like it.
garbage taken
Yeah,
out to the dumpster.
it sounds like you're doing all right, man. I mean, laundry is an endless task over here. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And then my considerations are let me do the kitchen and the bathroom up front, you know, my wet rooms here, you know, but it gets overwhelming because laundry is forever. And then when it gets cold over here and the air is dry, you got to do it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I thought my dryer died the other day. I really did. And it was just overheated and trying to pump out, you know. You never know.
Yeah, yeah. I try to do like not very full loads in the dryer, like half a load, and then I'll stick like a big towel that's dry in there to try to speed up the
Suck it up.
process.
Get the moisture
Yeah,
out of there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, I have all these kids that throw that in and also they wear like sweatpants and black jeans, like it's all heavy, heavy stuff, you know. So
yeah.
that's how it goes.
Well, I've got accident pads and stuff like that for myself, so I've got some heavy stuff. And
Yeah,
when I wear long pants, I wear jeans.
yeah, yeah. Yep, it can
But
be heavy to take extra time.
yeah, but it's I don't wear pants that often. Thank goodness it just stays relatively the same here in Houston. It's just not so hot in the winter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know what my ideal is anymore. I really don't. It changes all the time. Sometimes I like colder weather and just dress for it, and sometimes I like warmer weather and you know just suffer through it. I don't know. You know, sometimes I don't know what the best is for me.
Yeah, I just sleep with basically a sheet over me, and then I've got
Yeah,
the one leg either goes out or in to regulate the fine temperature.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 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 that makes sense. Yeah, Yeah, always like the heels or palms of your hands or whatever. That's where you can control what you absorb. So you might want one out and one tucked in, stuff like that. So one
Yeah,
foot out of your blanket.
if my hands get too cold, I prop them under my chicken wings and let my armpits warm them up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, right now I put them under my chin because it's hot enough right now. But
So congratulations on your 1,000 subs. And do
right
you know
on.
how far?
Thank you.
Do you know how far you are to your 4,000 hours?
I'm not going to monetize myself, Thomas, at all. I'm not. I'm
No.
not working on that.
Well, yeah, I can't myself either, but that's
Yeah.
sort of what I'm putting myself up against, just to see that I could be considered a YouTube success.
Right, right, right. Like you're available for it. So the first thing that they say, like, of course, you have to have 50 to go live, right? And
Right.
then you have to wait an indeterminate amount of time, and then you go live. And then the first time they say, "Good job," was at 300, and so they said it again. Good job, number two at 1,000.
Uh-huh. But they
But
haven't given you any indication at how many hours you've been watched.
well, I can look it up, but I just wasn't looking at that yet because I was actually just trying to do this. Sometimes I used to have like really nice, heavy watch hours, but it was the same 200 people all the time. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I don't know.
that's great. You've got a following that will tune into you.
What's up, Fish and Chef? How you doing? What'd you cook tonight, chefin'? Yeah, yeah. No, it's very nice. All of it's very nice. I mean, I'd kind of be hanging out here anyway, whether I'm talking to the wall or talking to this hole. I'd probably be here anyway.
Well, and you also have a ulterior motive to get over some social anxiety, and I think that you've done admirably since I've known you.
Thank you, man. Yo, Vince Matthews, what you say? Yeah, hello to you too. Well, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Thomas.
Well, it is helping you, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think so. Sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, I just spent like let's just put it in like a block. I spent like 20 years raising the kids that are basically adults now, right? I got to do
Mm.
something else. So this is some late evening time. If I can go on at noon at lunchtime, I can do that. People watch. But at the same time, if I go on noon lunchtime, then my phone rings or like the kids in the neighborhood are in the backyard and they're like yelling back at me. So I can't really do that. So, I've started carving this time out, at 11 o'clock, and I've got ideas and projects that I need to do during the days. And, we'll start doing that shit. We'll start doing that.
Well, I enjoy the music that you put up during the days.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, at least when I feed them dinner, that's when I feel free. So that's basically after 8 p.m. Eastern here. At least I have to make sure they've eaten their dinner and they don't need anything. But yeah, during the day, yeah, I've had, a lot of really cool viewers and things like that. I just can't get away with it because I have to be available on the phone. Who knows what's going to happen? So the other
Yeah.
things that I have in the back of my mind, I need to spend my time on that during the day. So I started taking extensive notes and started like telling myself, okay, well, every for sure that you have there's three other ways that are just as good. So don't be hung up on it. Just trying to work through everything that I've grown up with and, make it better, just like make a better way. I don't know.
And then I would say that you probably have a pretty extensive vinyl collection for records.
Oh yeah. I got like 10,000 probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've,
And
I've,
videotapes, I got probably more. I got probably 14,000 videotapes.
I've moved so many times. Um,
Yeah. And me too. Me
since
too.
leaving Iowa, that um, every time I move, I try to get rid of half the stuff that I had before, and
Well, every time I
there's
lose
still a
stuff
lot of stuff.
too, but when it came to like vinyl and film and stuff, like when it was becoming like out of favor, I noticed. So I would go to the video stores and I would go to the people who had a collection, and just bid them down to 25 cents a piece so that I could hold them, because I always thought in the future there could be like a media museum or something where I exhibit such things, something like that.
Well, the '60s big brass sounds, Herb Albert and Tijuana Brass and stuff like that,
Yeah,
sounds so much better on vinyl than they ever did digitally.
for sure, for sure.
There's
Yeah.
even though there might be some hiss in the background or pop, um, that it is so much more of a big grandiose sound for the brass.
Yeah, one of the bands that I got into when I was real young, and it was just picking up records that outside of somebody's house, or on a yard sale or whatever. I really got into War, and War did a
Ooh.
bunch of different stuff. So I got to hear all the dynamics of my turntable when I got home too. Maybe they were 2 cents or 10 cents a record or whatever. But when I got home and I got to listen to the dynamics of the band with the brass coming up here and the bass staying down here and the drums going from
Oh,
down there to up there, you get to hear the
and
full dynamics in your vinyl.
yeah, and the vocalist, I'm sorry I can't pull up his name now, but he did House of the Rising Sun with the Animals.
Oh yeah. There was War, yeah, War with Eric Burden. Eric Burden.
Yeah, Eric Burden. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fantastic. Yeah. That's like, as far as like that Spill the Wine song or whatever, that's like a old school rap song. I heard older rap than that also, but that's an old rap song, you know what I mean? But,
I think that's probably like one of the psychedelic songs that I really liked.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that stuff's wonderful, man. Yeah, I like a lot of that really old, I don't know what it is, Sunset Strip music or whatever. That's all good stuff.
I was just a little later than um, CCR and Three Dog Night and um, that era.
Yeah.
The end of Vietnam War. I came along a little bit later, like the sappy songs of the '70s. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Like from 74 and like the middle 70s, you had all your like, I mean, it's almost like whatever they would have called boy bands in the 90s or whatever. You had like, that sort of soap opera pop. You had
mhm.
shows that were related to, and I love that music. But I also love, the Carpenters and wherever they fit in there.
My brother had a crush on Karen Carpenter, and I had a crush on Tony Tennille,
Yeah, Tennille.
Captain and Tennille.
Yeah. I know the Captain. Yeah, they're awesome. The Captain and Tennille. That's what I said. You had a crush on her.
Yeah,
What's the captain's name?
Gerald Reagan.
Okay, because I didn't even know that.
And he's passed.
Yes, yes. Is she still alive?
She is.
Tennille.
Tony Tennille, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for a lot of us, music is a big part of our lives. It makes us feel good. It makes us feel understood, or at least we have an idea what the rest of the world's about. Stuff like that. It's kind of cool.
Well, it's we're getting to the age that all a lot of familiar people are passing. Probably starting with big one, Michael Jackson, and then you got Prince
Right.
and just so many, George Harrison, John Lennon.
Yeah.
It's uh, about had a mental breakdown the day that I heard about Robin Williams taking his life.
For sure. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I mean, I can't even, like, to be honest, Robin Williams, he's close enough to my own age in a weird way. But at the same time, like, I remember watching Mork and Mindy when I was a baby. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like that I can't even really like wrestle that thought around, because I was seeing him when I was a baby. Mork and Mindy was a big deal, guys. I don't know if you know, but when you go to the store, they had like plushies of the egg and they had all that stuff. It was everywhere. You know,
Well,
and
it
when
it
when when
was
that
a
happened,
it
when
was a
that happened,
spinoff
and I
from
realized,
an episode of Happy Days.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
Happy
Richie,
Days. It was a
Happy
big
Days
one
had
with
a
my
lot of spinoffs.
sister. Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Happy Days had a lot of spinoffs. Johnny Loves Chachi, Laverne and Shirley, um, the Laverne's parents. They had a show for a little bit,
Right, 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 right.
and then
And then I guess Charles in charge way later.
yeah, and then well, you saw and heard about Chuck the first year, but then after that, it was like he wasn't ever mentioned that he was even alive in the series.
Yeah, yeah. Sean says nanu nanu. Nah, that was super sad, man. And what is that movie? Maybe you can help me with this, Sean or Thomas. There was like a Father of the Year or something like that movie that Bobcat Goldthwait was the director, but it was one of the last Robin Williams movies, and it was about his son, and he worked in the same school, and his son maybe wasn't necessarily the best of guys, but he kind of rewrote the script. I think it was called like Father of the Year or something. It was
um,
so dark. It was so dark.
the
And that was shortly before Robin Williams, passed away. And he was definitely the lead in that. But it was just so dark because he realized like his son wasn't, kind of the best guy in the world. But he rewrote the script, and he just celebrated my boy's life.
the disturbing one was what was it? Photomat or Automatic Photo or
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 1 hour photo. Yeah, yeah.
One
That
Hour
one was
Photo.
definitely love. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But I think this one
But
was too, and I don't know, man. You should all
but
see that.
he had a range from comedy to drama, and
Yeah.
once he got off the drugs, out of that frenetic Mork and Mindy period in his life.
Right.
World According to Garp, and being Adrian Cronauer in Good Morning Vietnam. I mean, so he had
Right.
some meaty roles.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I saw his old stand up, at least what is preserved by video. And he seemed kind of unhinged and nervous as well. But that's kind of the beautiful thing. It's like when he can like rein that in, like you said, to deliver a performance that's focused to the character, and you don't have the side by side, unsureness. He's just completely dialed in. Because even as you mentioned, 1 hour photo, he was completely a focused, trying to keep himself together character, and that's very impactful.
Well, what a great thing to be an actor and have the challenge of playing different roles and different people and different personalities. The people that usually win Academy Awards are uh, portraying people that are somehow maybe mentally damaged, or um, sociopaths or things like that.
Wow. So
They seem to get.
the empathy is like part of the voting process, whether it's good or bad. It sounds like, whether they like to be in your shoes for a good or a bad reason.
Yeah. Kathy Bates in Misery. Great,
Yeah.
great performance. But and then you read the book, and she was so much darker than she was in the movie. You thought strapping a block of wood between the ankles and hit them with a sledge just to break his ankles and to keep him in the house.
Right. Right.
In the book, she took care of the sheriff by running over him with a lawnmower.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my mother, my wife, my sister, they're big into every single, Stephen King book. They've read everything, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I've always had that around. When I started reading certain things, I got away from anything fiction. I didn't really care. I just figured I didn't have time for it.
I
But
like I like biographies.
yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, so I consider that nonfiction, but a lot of times it looks kind of like the structure of it looks like a true crime novel, like a normal biography. It follows a certain structure. Which movie you saw in the theater? I saw Misery in the theater with my mother. Yeah, for sure. Did Sean. And it was
And
snowing. Yeah, I think it was snowing when I saw it. Yeah. There you go. There you go. So yeah.
the Christmas movie you didn't even know you needed to watch every Christmas.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
It's,
Thank you. We'll watch it next Christmas. Yeah, I
it's
wore out my I wore out my stack of Christmas movies, man. I was watching the
uh,
same ones for like 5 years in a row. Yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna start reshuffling.
it's it's not Christmas until Hans Zimmer or whatever falls off the tower in LA
Right.
and Die Hard.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch. Yeah. I'm gonna watch Die Hard. I'm gonna watch The Gremlins again. I'm gonna watch. I don't know. Yeah.
Uh, the I think it was
I got
Gremlins
tired of
2.
Christmas Vacation. I watched Christmas Vacation too many years in a row. Like 4 years in
Oh
a
my
row. I'm
goodness.
like, okay, I'm done.
Did anybody bring us off? Boom.
What's your favorite Halloween movie? Good question. I like The Midnight Hour.
Oh, Halloween. It's Freddy, Freddy Krueger. I like, you know, Johnny Depp being his first victim.
You like part one?
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street.
And why I like that so much is I grew up on Elm Street, and we also happened to be the last house on the left.
Last house on the left on Elm Street. At the end of the street.
Uh,
That's a Italian movie that's about to come out next month.
yeah.
The house on Elm Street at the end of the
Yeah.
street to the left.
Yeah. So that gives you insight into why there might be
Oh, close to
about
home.
twenty
Close
five
to home.
thousand dollars, about $25,000 worth of counseling in my background.
Well, dang, that's heavy. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. These movies did that. You should be suing. What is it?
Oh
New
no,
Line at this point.
no, 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 no! It's just how my life paralleled the nightmares.
I'm just saying, like
And my
now it's
brother,
New
my
Line.
brother
God
just
save.
came out fine. He's like, I asked him a couple years ago. I says, how come all this stuff bothered me? He says, well, you were the youngest and you were always sensitive. I just thought that's how things were supposed to be.
Right, right. Yeah. No, he has no answer for you. Yeah. But that's interesting. At least you asked. At least you
Mm,
asked.
and when my father died, he lost his best friend because they used to hunt and fish and do a lot of outdoor things together.
With his best friend or with you?
No, Dad and my older brother were like best friends, you know.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay. Okay.
he lost a best friend and a father when my dad died.
Right. Now I get it. Yeah. Absolutely. I get it. Yeah. Who was your
But
best friend?
I had another Tom in the town that I grew up in, and his parents owned the hardware store. So helping him um, fix lawnmowers and sharpen lawnmower blades and repair windows and put in screens
Right.
into frames and the spline and stuff. I learned a lot of how to be handy
Okay.
in my youth. I could do a little soldering. I could do some plumbing work. Um, I guess I could just be handy around the house. Not that I ever wanted to do that stuff, but I did it with him, um, just so we could get the things done and go off and have fun together. Because
Right.
it was
Right.
a small town, and we were both in Boy Scouts, and we'd go uh, camping like every chance we could. Used to ride our bikes out to the lake or the river and go fishing and bring home a bucket of crappie or whatever we were catching, catfish or whatever, and Dad would
Yeah.
bury the crappie uh, in the
He would bury them. He doesn't
garden.
cook those. He
Well,
doesn't cook
there
them.
were so many of them, and they were little, and but like he would augment his soil for his garden with the crappie, and
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
he would have the biggest tomatoes and the biggest potatoes, uh, just because he had all that fish nutrient.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, we experimented with coffee like in our grows, and it seemed like that was like, I guess it was too aggressive the first year, but like with the next year when we took those soils and and like re-aerated them and started again, they said they
Uh-huh.
tended to be really good, so we experimented with certain things,
Yeah,
not fish, not dead fish, but
well,
I get
he'd
you.
go fish, and then he would get cow manure from the farmers. He would go to the riverside and dig up sand, and
Yeah.
he, you know, he had we had a double lot, which means there could have been two houses on the lot, but
Right.
he grew a huge garden, and it was all for food. So like we'd do canning of
Yeah.
tomatoes, green beans, corn, pickles every year, dill pickles.
Hmm.
He'd
Yeah, my
make his
grandmother
own
did all of those.
jams and jellies. Some years he did freezer jelly. Some years he did the hot bath canning.
Yeah, my grandmother did all of that with like, the only other things I can think of is like they had beans, that they did in the cans, and uh we already said green beans, yeah. So beans and green beans, stuff like that. Definitely tomato, green pepper, things like that.
Snap peas,
Yeah.
and we didn't grow the corn. We just buy grocery bags from the local farmers who would put 2 or 3 rows of sweet corn on the end of their field, and sell that.
Yeah. And
But
then you just do the same thing though. You can that, right?
yeah, just chuck shucked the ears and boiled it, and then cut it off the ears and canned it. Life life
I
was
bet
so much harder then.
you think it was harder.
Yeah,
It's hard to say.
everything came in a quart jar instead of a 14-ounce can or something.
Yeah, yeah. That just means you need more people around. So when you split it up, you open three jars and you make some veggie soup or whatever, and everybody eats, right?
Yeah, and then my dad, when he cooked, um, am I still there?
What's that? What's that?
Oh, am I still there?
Yeah, yeah. When your dad cooked, that's what you were saying, right?
Yeah, yeah. When my dad cooked, he tried to perfect a recipe to what he liked. So, like when he was trying to perfect like a barbecue sauce, I mean, it would be weeks and weeks and weeks of tweaking until he got the
Okay.
flavor that he wanted. Same with
Yeah.
chili. Same with coleslaw.
I'm sure my sons would love that process. You know what I mean? They would love to be involved in. Oh, it's better this week, Dad. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. They would love to do that.
potato salad, um, the dill pickle recipe. I mean, I don't know how many kerosene cucumbers we had to eat until he got the the right consistency.
Right, right, right. See you later, Sean. Yeah, for sure. Every time I've made pickles, I'm a little bit too forward in the vinegar. You know, for sure, for sure.
So they have a little wang to them.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
And the potato salad that he uh, perfected to his liking had
Right,
a couple tablespoons of vinegar in it, to give it that wang.
right.
And then
Yeah,
we
my kids used to they used to be on the swim team, and so I would make like baked beans that were like sugar free and coleslaw and stuff like that. And I would make that because everybody on the team, they're supposed to show up tomorrow and do their thing. So I made it sugar free. I did all this. Nah, they didn't. Every time before, the night before, they would just eat like muffins and cakes and shit like that. They would never eat like something you try to give them healthy, never, never.
so was that like part of the carb loading or something for
Yeah,
performance and everything?
maybe. No, they didn't think about that. No, they just thought it was prettier. You know what I mean? Like, I was just thinking, like, you guys are some level of athlete. Let me, whatever. But no, they would always just whatever. It's just all crave, just whatever they think of first. It's beautiful, it's
So
rainbow color. Just eat it.
so the area of the United States you grew up in, was it soda or pop?
Yeah, it was soda. Yeah, soda.
Was it Pepsi or Coke or
They
RC with
didn't. Actually, it was mostly Pepsi. Actually, but what they
or
say where I come from is, what kind of products do you have? That means, is it Coke or Pepsi? They say, what kind of products do you have? That's what they say. So,
well, in my drinking days, that would have been: is this a Budweiser town or is this a Miller Lite town?
there you go. There you go. But yeah, that's the way that they say it is, what kind of products do you have? That's what they say first. Most of them are looking for Pepsi, though. I'll be honest.
I preferred Pepsi when I was younger.
Hmm.
It
Well,
really had.
I think
It
Pepsi used to taste different when I was younger. I can remember what a 90s Pepsi tasted like, and it seemed like it was very citrusy and had a bit of lemon. But when I drink it right now, it just tastes like pine needle. Like there's nothing like complex about it anymore.
Yeah, it definitely had a more of a uh, um, carbonated burn to it than Coke.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Coke, there's this thing about Coke where you get that like sugary column that like it coats your throat and you just drink it down and it's just so like relaxing or whatever. That's a real thing. Coke is very relaxing.
Ugh.
The elixir of Georgia.
Well, we needed to have the original. We need original recipe back.
Oh,
And
just to get the coca leaves in, or yeah.
yeah, to melt the pain
Now, one
away.
time, one time, Red Bull made a cola. I don't think they make it anymore, but it was Red Bull cola, and it definitely said that it had pine needle in it. But it was really good because it was a really complex cola. It had a lot of flavors in it. It was really good. Like I think the
I mean,
Coca-Cola mainly it has a vanilla flavor,
yeah.
but it has so much sugar that it has this cooling effect. It's real
I
good.
remember uh, making root beer from scratch one summer. That
Yeah.
was a process.
I can, I've made root beer, but with the root beer, like, what do you call it? Essential oil, that you have to pour in.
Oh no, this was with the sassafras
There you
and
go.
filet and all that, all those kinds of ingredients.
Root beer is, it's considered a carcinogen in the European Union. I don't know where that comes from, but it's considered a carcinogen. My kid
Well,
loves it. I have a kid who loves root beer.
I like ginger beer more than root beer, but we
I
never
like
made.
ginger beer too. I like ginger beer, but I mean, I'm still on my beer. One day I have to quit so I don't die, right? That's how that goes. But as I'm still in my beer, ginger beer is something I'll save for later.
The day you quit will be the day you die.
Maybe, maybe, and that's okay. That'll be a surprise.
Or or then if you have developed diabetes and all the neuropathy and all the other things that go along with it, then maybe
Yeah.
that'll slow you up. Ugh.
Well, no, hopefully I won't. But if I do hear from my doctor, because at least now I actively go. If I do hear from them, then I have the choice at least. I could change my ways, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I could.
It's hard to change your ways. You've lived your life the same way for many many years, and we're all just
Yeah,
creatures of habit.
yeah. 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 I guess, it's kind of unfortunate or funny that I'm tied into very destructive habits or whatever, because I could be tied into positive habits. That could happen too. But it's not, what I'm into.
It's it's easier if you develop positive habits early.
Yeah.
I in my career I had an IT job that I traveled for 10 years. Had an expense account and all that, and totally abused my body. Um, Working 14 to 16-hour days, never getting any exercise. Um, Coming back when even just the fast food restaurants were already closed, so you go back to the hotel or motel that you were staying in and
Yeah. When you're
eat at
this
the
is
bar,
on the expense account, yeah.
eat at the bar, or drink at the bar. I had many nights where I had to look at reports and balance them to the penny and figure
Yeah.
out. So I mean, I was chronically sleep deprived for 10 years. Um,
Yeah.
Lived with a CPAP machine because I was 305 pounds.
Yep. Yep.
So I guess that's I guess a precursor to diabetes if you're on a CPAP.
For sure, yeah. Or you're already in. Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and by the time I got diagnosed as diabetic, I already probably had been diabetic for 10 years, but not Um, not diagnosed,
Yeah,
but living the ravages of it to the body.
man. I mean, I remember when I could not sleep. That was kind of the worst thing, you know. I'm really glad now that I can sleep. I can sleep anytime, really. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah, like insomnia is like it's a painful thing because you still got to do everything you're going to do tomorrow. You know it. So it's just picking at you the whole time, you know what you have to do. You can't sleep to try to prepare for it. You lay down and whatever, man. You're going to flip over, kick your leg, do all that stuff. It's all useless. You can't sleep, you know. I'm glad to be
Her-
out of that. I really am.
Hershey's got all these photos of me, you know, my head hanging off the side of the sofa. Or,
Yeah. She takes pictures of you.
yeah, she's like, I said, well, was I snoring? She says, well, yeah, here, look at your neck, how you had it bent backwards.
Right. Right. Yeah. Wow. That can be like a real contentious issue too. Just that somebody snores, you know what I mean, that you're trying to live with, and they don't want to say it in the right way and they might say it in another way. So wow.
Well, it helps that, Hershey and I have separate bedrooms and are not romantically involved with each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're just financially involved with each other.
Right,
Um,
right. You're just working together to make it realistic, you know.
we're the Golden Girls.
Oh yeah, thank you for being a friend.
I think that it's probably going to be the norm that people move in together,
Yeah.
three or four to a household who just to manage to make ends meet.
Yeah, one of the things that I studied in school, and it's a long time ago, was anthropology. And one of the things that quickly came up is that most of the households out here are three generational. And that's not what the world tells you. The world tells you you should make enough money to say forget your parents and move out with your, significant other, blah blah blah. But that's not reality. That's not how it works. So you guys working
Oh,
together,
yeah,
having a shared income.
and then um, we have this thing called a pandemic that really
Yep.
knocked living arrangements.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking about that just a couple days ago. My sons, they graduated right after the pandemic, and I'm so glad because if that was their final year, like if they were seniors, and they were like mobile school or whatever, they
Not
said
not
fuck
had
it.
no
They
graduation.
they shut their they shut their computers down. No, they
Yeah.
didn't. Like you could not get them to go on school. You know what I mean? Like they shut their computers down and just, my one son, I had to get myself on a Zoom call that he was supposed to be doing school with and talk to them. You know what I mean? It was embarrassing, you know what I mean? But I had to talk to them to get him back in. And but my other son, yeah, if something got to bother him, he would just be like, "Boop." He would just shut the fucking laptop down. So I'm
Well,
glad they had like a couple more years before they graduated.
I was already medically disabled when that came along, but
Yeah.
I was glad because I had like a year's head start on everybody, and was,
Yeah.
going through my mental health and all that. And so I was
Right.
perfectly fine being alone and not worrying about being an essential worker and having to go in and, get exposed to
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
But the job I had before, they did call it essential worker. It was an art supply store, and they
Okay.
had internet sales. So when everybody went into lockdown, they had to figure out what to do with their spare time. So they either bought art books or markers or clay or whatever type of artistry that they wanted to pass their time with.
For sure.
And
Yeah. For sure.
it I mean, nobody died in the warehouse, but everybody got sick because everybody was there, extra
Yeah.
hours of the day because they were shipping out. In a normal day, it was maybe 300 packages, but during the pandemic, they were shipping out 1,500 packages a
It's
day.
amazing how, it's amazing how that boosted their, economy. Like people needed to keep their hands busy at home or whatever.
Yeah. And then there were people that were totally lost because they never had to face their spouse or their significant other 24 hours a
Oh
day.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of relationships got tested when everybody was stuck at home. Not only with, back and forth with their relationship, but also with their own damn kids, like all of that all together.
Yeah, well, kids tend to get bored. Uh,
Yeah.
and if they're stuck at home, they really tend to get bored.
Yep. And if your relationship is tenuous anyway, they're pretty masterful with creating games that will go ahead and alienate you further. They've got pretty good ideas, these kids. You know what I mean?
They, they
They
put
could
the
plant
stuck
little
into
bombs.
success, right?
They could plant little bombs that'll explode later. With you and your insignificant other.
Uh,
Bam, bada boom, boom. We call it popcorn because our kids with the autism, they have popcorn anyway. If something starts off, something else starts, and you gotta catch it. You know what I mean? You gotta
you
put that
you got to put
popcorn
you
down.
got to put the fire out so it doesn't pop the lid off.
Yeah. Yep. And all the times that the school would call us, I couldn't believe it. What do you think we should do? I was like, what do you think we should do? Huh? I don't have a degree. You do, right? I don't know what you're talking about. We do what we do. It seems to work. You guys work something else out. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, internet's brought us a lot of information, maybe not always accurate, but
Right.
you didn't have to call up the help desk at the local library and ask a question and then wait 3 or 4 months for somebody to research it and get back to you.
Right. Right.
But that was a
Right.
totally free service that you could do back in the day.
Yeah, if you wanted to wait, yeah. Well, I grew up right outside of DC, so when I was watching any kind of public TV, they would always be like, "Write to this place, get a fucking pamphlet. Write to your congressman, do this." I did that stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I did that all the time. I had so many pamphlets. you know, but it's all like to pretend like you could be engaged. I was a young child and learning things in school and thinking, I'm right here at the hub of the government. So, like, let's do this. Like, if I disagree with something, let me tell Leo Green. That was my congressman. And so he wrote me a recommendation letter for what was it? The Naval Academy, like I was gonna get there, but whatever, like I
Oh,
bothered them enough that I got that recognition.
off to West Point. Wow, that's
No, the Naval Academy in Annapolis, in
Annapolis.
Annapolis. Yeah. And he did. He wrote me a recommendation. It was so
Well,
funny.
you were engaged with him, so he probably thought you were a pretty clever young
Usually it
man.
was just his secretaries were just sending me like pencils with his name on them, but no, I felt like, that was what you're supposed to do. I thought you're supposed to write letters to your congressman and, collect all these informational packets and all this. I thought that's what you're supposed to do. From what I understood, like be engaged and growing up there.
So you knew that address in Pueblo, Colorado, to write off for all those pamphlets?
Well, no. This was all DC stuff. They had all those like anytime you have sort of like an activist upstart or whatever, they're like, hey, let me send you a paper. It's about how if you grow beetroots, they'll save your life. And that's what they used to advertise on me in Maryland on TV because I was outside of DC, And
Ah,
two
so
zeros
so you
into
were on
your
the county extension list.
yeah. So we would find all that
What
crazy stuff.
what do you
That
do
stuff
if
was
your garden is infested with hornworms?
I don't know, man. Send out for the pamphlet from Pueblo, Colorado, like you said. But yeah, Terre Haute, Indiana.
Oh, Terre Haute. Only
Yeah,
thing I
that's where
know
you get your CDs from for free. That's where you get your cassettes from.
that were Columbia
Uh,
Records was
the record clubs, yeah, the record clubs in Terre Haute, Indiana.
uh, everything was for publishing periodicals was uh, from Des Moines, Iowa. That was the big
Des Moines,
dis-
yeah,
distribution hub.
yeah.
My
Yeah,
my friends.
I worked for the Nielsen Company, and the Nielsen Company was bought by a magazine distributor, which was Dutch, and a lot of things happen with these Dutch magazine distributors if you look into the history of it. But yeah, man, that's crazy stuff. Those were the days. 6 to 8 weeks delivery.
Did
COD.
you ever? Yep. Did you ever send off for cereal premiums after saving so many box tops?
Yeah, I did because my uncle did that all the time. So yeah, I did. Yeah. Yo, what's up? I have Creator. Andy Creator is in the house. Thank you for hitting the like, bro. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, because my uncle did it all the time. He had so much stuff, and he was almost like enticing me. He was like, "Look at what you get free from the back of the fucking cereal." So I got into it.
Send 4 box tops with a self-addressed stamped envelope. You
That's
can
right.
have these stickers.
Yeah, and I used to, because I didn't have a name with the bank or whatever. I used to try to talk my mom into it. So I still have like little like order forms that I filled out the back of that she never sent in, because I was like, do this for me. I can't do this. So I still have some that are from the mid 80s. You know what I mean? But I filled them out. She never sent them.
So you never got your decoder ring from Ovaltine then?
That's right, man. That's right. Yeah, my dad, he was into that stuff. So when he saw like he loves that, like, what is it, Christmas Story movie, the Gene Shepherd one, because he grew up like that, He grew up like that with the radio and all that.
The Red Ryder BB gun with the compass in the stock?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And this thing which tells time. And
Tells
also, yeah,
time.
yeah, he loved that stuff, yeah. Because he grew up like that. He grew up in a really interesting part of Philadelphia. I loved being there every time I was. You know what I mean? It was like it was different, you know.
I liked visiting Philadelphia, but I did not like driving in Philadelphia. Those very narrow streets.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Philadelphia is very rough, by the way. I mean, like it really is. So if you, like you say, you're walking those narrow streets, you turn a left and you end up in an alley, and there's people that are wearing underwear on their hair and like swinging shit around, like like it's a wild place. It's not normal. You got to be careful.
No
You got to be
wonder
careful.
why the Fresh Prince got sent to live with his auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
Yeah. He was going down a dark path. I just saw like a prank calls to CNN or something video. And that's one of those things, I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and she sent me with my auntie and uncle in Bel Air. And like the guy was just speaking it out to them. But
Well,
yeah, you got to be careful. Man.
Will Smith has had a famed and fabled career trajectory.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's definitely not Chris Rock, but he did smack him. So there you go. I don't know. Nah, the way that I see it, like Fresh Prince, like Will Smith, even back then, I'm the rapper, he's the DJ. Back then, they had the backing of Jive Records. They had a big record company behind them, bringing them up.
Yeah.
And then you got somebody like Chris Rock. Chris Rock was, a kid that came up through Saturday Night Live when he was like 17 to 19 years old, built himself out of nothing. And then, we come up 24 years later and one guy is smacking the other and the other guy's just got to take it. So that's the world we live in.
You're scrappy when you grow up in Philadelphia.
Should be, but everybody loses their way, man. All right, well, I'm gonna check out because it's kind of late over here.
Okay.
I really appreciate you coming up.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
I had a great time. When's Hershey coming back?
Indetermined.
Wow. Okay. Well, enjoy that. Thanks, Thomas. See you soon.
Good night, Peter. Peace out.
All right. Good night.
Good night.